Hi, good afternoon, madam. My name is Foo Weyerl. So we are from Group A1. So today we will like to present about a mini analysis report. So the topic that we chose, which is the lack of awareness of the organization culture. So we're moving on to the introduction. I will pass it to my fellow friends.
Hi, good afternoon, madam. My name is Vaenisa. So I'll start with the introduction today. So as we know, Chinese economy is moving in a very speed phase in these recent years. So just think about the companies like Huawei rolling out the next Gen 6G projects, and by BYD has just overtaken major global car brands in the EV sales these recent years. But here's something that we often overlook, like success in China isn't just about what you know, but it's about how you guys work. So that's where business culture and professional practices come in here. So for the company culture is the shared values, the habits, the invisible rules that shape how does really a company works. And when we talk about professional practices, those are the standards, both official and unofficial, for how you really behave at work. Now, the problem is here when people don't understand these things, it's like trying to play a game without knowing the rules of the game. So misunderstandings happen, productivity drops, and sometimes the whole projects could fail and collapse. So in China, workplace culture is like still deeply shaped by Confucian values, respect for authority, hierarchy, and giving importance to the group over the individual. So like these aren't just old traditions, but these things are still matter in every single day in offices, factories, and boardrooms. For like foreign companies, even Chinese fresh graduates face this kind of challenges. Many step into their first job expecting flexible hours, rapid promotions, and informal work environments. But the reality is often stricter, more to hierarchical, and less flexible than they actually imagine. So these gaps, of course, creates frustration, disengagement, and high turnover. So overall, in this presentation, we're going to explore why this awareness gap exists and how it's impacting both the expatriates and business in these recent years. And most importantly, what we can do to bridge the gap, or so that everyone, local or internationally, can truly thrive into the China's unique workplace culture. So I'll pass to my next member. Thank you.
Hi, Miss. My name is Melvin. I will be presenting the perspective of the expatriate, which is the first point of this is misinterpretation of communication and management style. So let's talk about the misinterpretation of the communication and management style. When the Malaysian worker move to China for a job, one of the biggest issue they face is how differently people communicate and manage others at the workplace. In Malaysia, the communication style is usually open, direct, and casual. It's normal for employees to speak freely with their manager and give honest feedback. But in the Chinese organization, communication is very high contact, which means people often rely on non-verbal cue like tone, body language, and silence to deliver a message. The real meaning is not always said directly. For example, Malaysian manager might say to the Chinese team, "Can this be done by tomorrow?" The team may not or stay quiet, but that doesn't always mean yes. In Chinese culture, they might avoid saying no out of politeness or respect. The Malaysian expect misunderstand and expect it to be completed, which can lead to conflict or blame. Another important difference is how relationship influence decision in Malaysia. People promote or given responsibility based on their qualification, achievement, or job performance. But in China, personal trust and strong relationship, also known as guanxi, often matter more than formal credential. For example, if a Chinese colleague with a close relationship with the boss get promoted before the expat, the Malaysian might feel it unfair, even if the how decisions are usually made in that culture. In addition, management style are quite different. In China, the cultures respect hierarchy and authority, which mean employee are rarely question their superior even if they disagree. On the other hand, Malaysian professionals are more used to participative decision making, where suggestions are open, discussion are welcome. For example, a Malaysian team leader may openly suggest a better approach during a meeting, but in the Chinese work culture, this could be seen as being too bold or even disrespectful. This can hurt the relationship with the supervisor and make the expert feel confused about what they did wrong. So if the expatriate doesn't understand these unspoken rules, it can lead to miscommunication, damage trust, and even feeling exclude in the workplace. So I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you, Miss.
So for the next point of the perspective of the expatriate, which is the impact on well-being and adjustment. So now I'd like to talk about the how culture misalignment affect an expatriate emotional, social and professional adjustment. So when expatriates start working in a new culture, so one of the first challenges they face is the mental pressure. So they constantly try to understand unspoken culture cues, avoid offending others, and figure out how to fit in. So according to the Black Mental Health and Order 1991, so this can lead to a loss of confidence because even small mistakes may feel like serious setback to their professional image. So this directly affect their job performance. Instead of focusing fully on work, their energy is spent managing cultures and misunderstanding. So the simple things, such as like asking for help and giving feedback, become emotionally exhausting. So according to Selma, 2006, point out that this doesn't happen because the expatriate is not competent. So, but because the work environment feel unfamiliar and hard to navigate. So for emotionally, the impact is just as serious. Many expatriates begin to feel frustrated, I will say, isolated, and even question their purpose at work. If they struggle to build workplace relationship, it's become harder to form a social support network. So this feeling of being on outsider lead to demotivate and loneliness. So over time, these challenges increase the chance of expatriate failure. So which often meaning a return home early. So as Selma said, noted, this is not only a personal setback for the employee, but also a costly loss for the organization. That's why culture training and support program are so important. So as I mentioned in report from Thomas and Pertenson, emphasize that the proper preparation before and during the assignment can help expatriate adapt better, reduce stress, and perform more successfully. So in conclusion, for this perspective of expatriate, the well-being of an expatriate is just not a personal matter. It's direct tied to their professional success and the success of the entire international assessment. So I'll pass it to the next presenter.
My name is Nivanita Siva. Today, I would like to present about the three main problems with the perspective of the organizations. First is which is the lack of organizational culture and professional knowledge. Many Malaysian companies do not fully understand the culture and workplace differences between the Malaysia and China, which is they have the lack of awareness result in poor poor support system and unclear communication and challenges for the expatriate when they adjusting to the new environment. As the result, they may face stress, low job satisfaction, and also even early termination of their assignment, which reduce the success of international projects and harm the company's reputations also. To overcome this problem, Malaysian organizational should improve their understanding of cross-cultural differences and professional practices before they sending their expertise to abroad. They can also conduct research of Chinese work norms, which is provide culture awareness sessions for their management and also develop their unclear policies to support the expatriate throughout their assignments, which is second, which is insufficient organizational support and readiness. Okay, many Malaysian companies do not provide their structure or organizational programs for expatriates. They also leaving them with limited guidance when adjusting to the new work environment. These also can make a lack of preparation often causes with the confusion, feeling of insulation, and also difficulties to adapting to workplace norms, which can lead to a low job performance. To reduce the early return distraction of projects, they have a result in financial losses and also have the waste program resources. And that's all for me.
Hi, madam. My name is Akeelaa. To continue for the solution, firstly, provide pre-departure training to prepare expatriate for culture and professional differences. Second, will be assign experienced culture mentors to guide them during their stay. Next, they can conduct regular feedback session to monitor the adaptation and resolve challenges early. To address this issue, organizations should offer pre-departure and culture and workplace training, assign experience, as I mentioned, to guide the expatriate and also to track their progress. These measures can improve adaptation, reduce misunderstanding, and also ensure better performance during the international assignment. So for the third point, lack of cultural intelligence CQ training, where expatriate are not prepared for Malaysian hierarchy, for an example, communication style and work norms. It also lead to the misunderstanding, workplace conflicts, and also poor collaboration with local teams. So to solve this problem, they can also conduct cross-cultural training and arrange mentorship with experienced local employees. So to conclude this, if there is as I mentioned there, expatriate are not prepared for Malaysian workplace norm, hierarchy, and communication style. More training can also overcome all these problems, and also the expatriate will work comfortably during the working hours. Thank you. That's all from me.
All right. To conclude, this discussion has clearly shown that the lacking of awareness of Chinese professional practices or organization culture, they can bring serious consequences. On a personal level, maybe many Malaysian expatriates find it difficult to understand the purpose behind Chinese communication style, especially the concept like gongsi, just as Melvin mentioned earlier. So this misunderstanding will often lead to adjustment problem, stress, and instability at work, and eventually early repatriation, as Fu mentioned earlier. So what this tells us is that professional and cultural awareness are not optional; these are essential. So if companies wanted to succeed globally, they must fill those gaps to ensure a smoother transition for expatriates and to avoid more costly failures. So therefore, maybe this study propose a practical step such as offer a localized cross-cultural training, assigning a cultural mentors, creating feedback system, and providing a pre-cultural learning. So this initiative maybe can help expatriates adjust more effectively and contribute more to their assignment. Finally, intercultural competence should not be longer treated as just respond to the problem. It must become a strategic part of human resource planning. So companies should measure the effectiveness of their expatriates program regularly or often, and build their global workforce on a foundation mutual understanding and respect. And by doing this, an organizational can thrive more in the international market and create an inclusive and a great future-ready workplace. So I think that's all for the conclusion. Thank you, Miss.
That's all from our presentation. Thank you, madam.